Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is Agree or Disagree, where we have a bit of a debate, bit of an argument, bit of a row, bit of a fight over the latest Manchester United topics. Today, we're going to be looking at potential budget strikers. And when I say budget strikers, I mean free.
Actually, the only budget that we have.
Yeah, because maybe we're going to get Brian Mbeumo. Maybe we're going to bring in someone like Vlahovic or Moise Kean or someone that costs a bit of money, but maybe we're not. Maybe Manchester United will have to watch our pennies and go for someone who doesn't cost out when it comes to buying a striker. So we thought, why not discuss it and see who we would prefer. Joining me as always is Lauren. How are you doing, Lauren?
I'm all good. Glad to be back again.
Yeah, it's been a little while, and we've had a little bit of a sabbatical, so it's good to see you again. Chelsea's here as well. How are you?
Yeah, good. Like I said, happy to be back.
Yeah, have you fed up? Are you done with all the Brian Mbeumo?
I thought,
is he coming?
I mean,
When's
last
it gonna
time I
happen
was here,
news?
we were thinking of signing him. I thought we would have signed him by now, but clearly not. So, yeah, bit sick of it, to be honest.
No, it's just more of the same every day,
Dragging
innit?
it on.
It's the same every transfer window.
I know, it's just like
literally.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And last but by no means least, Mr. Joe Smith.
Happy
How
to
are
be
you?
back.
Yes. We'll be back later on as well, won't we?
Yeah,
We've
Transfers
transferred
Live.
so we can worry about that later.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about
Let's beef.
some of the best strikers the Premier League has seen
Some of
over
the
the
best
past 10
strikers
years.
that 2016 has ever
Yeah,
seen.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
We're taking it
if
real
this was
back now.
2021, we'd be looking at 50, 60 million quid for some of these.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not, so we're looking at nothing.
So who we got?
So we've got Jamie Vardy, classic. We've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We've got Callum Wilson, and we've got Aubameyang. Yeah,
Pierre-Emerick thereof.
yes, right. So they're your strikers. That's who we're going to be talking about. That's who we're going to be making an argument from. Each one of us has picked a player. Yeah. Out of those four that I've mentioned, to sort of defend or to make the case of why that should be the player out of these four United should go for. Now, I just want to add something here. We're not saying that Manchester United as a first choice should go for someone like Callum Wilson or Jamie Vardy or whatever. We're saying out of these four, if we had to make a free signing for a striker, this is the one we'd go for and why. We're going to explain it, plus you're going to get involved in the chat in the comments, and we're going to do a poll so you can let us know what you think. You just got to remember as well, because I know people get like, oh, I can't believe you're saying we should buy Jamie Vardy. We're not. We're saying if you had to, out of these four, who would you go for?
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
They've all been linked, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's not,
And
we're not
this
just
is
inventing
it.
this.
No, like every single player that I've mentioned there that we are going to discuss has been linked with United this summer as well. Not like 5 years ago, though some of them were linked 5 years ago. This summer, they have been linked as well. So we'll get into it. So first of all, you're going to have a minute to make an opening statement for the player that you think we should go for and why. Lauren, we'll start with you. Who's your player?
Jamie Vardy.
Say it with a little bit
Big
more enthusiasm
Jamie
there.
Vardy.
Like someone's put a
An
gun to it
absolute
out there.
legend of the Premier
Jamie
League.
Vardy, right? You've got a minute to make the case why we should buy Rebecca Vardy's husband. Off you go.
Oh, that started bad. Jamie Vardy, obviously, we know he's got the most experience in the Premier League. As well, he's the 15th highest goal scorer in the Premier League, which is, it's not
All
too
time?
bad. Yep. So it's not too bad at all. I think if we're going to keep Højlund, who is still a young kid, he can learn a lot from him. He's someone that you guarantee goals. We worked out he had 13 goal involvements last season, which for a guy who's at the end of his career, as they say, is not too bad really. We know that like he'll just get stuck in, and I think we've not had that in the past few years. Really getting stuck in against defenders. He knows how to bully defenders, and I think that he's just got the potential to let us go forward by people learning from him. I think he's going to be more of like the role. He's not going to play every game, but he's going to have that role.
Oh, there you
Time's
go.
up.
He's going to have that role anyway.
Time is up there. So you made your case there. Some good points. Who's next? Chelsea?
Yeah.
Who's your striker? Which one are you going for?
I'm going for Callum Wilson.
Right. Anyone who's joining now is going to be like, what are these lot on about?
Honestly.
You know what I mean? What is going on
I
here?
really want to
But
sign Callum
I think
Wilson.
you get the gist of it. You've got 1 minute to tell us why Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the answer to all Manchester United's problems after just finishing 15th. Off you go.
Well, I wanted to sign Callum. I think we should sign Callum Wilson out of all this kind of budget strikers. He's 33 years old, so he's definitely not sort of I'd say as past it as potentially some of the other players on the list.
She's already started.
Sorry. And I think as well, he's got that experience. He's played for Newcastle for 5 years, and he's won the Carabao Cup. He's got experience in sort of playing for trophies. He's got experience playing in Europe. And I think he could be a good mentor to a player like Højlund, to our younger strikers, Højlund, Cheeto. He's got that experience that he can help bring up these younger players. He's scored 86 Premier League goals, which is more than anyone that's on United's roster, I'm pretty sure. So, it not that it's hard at the minute, but he's kind of got that to him. I think he's finishing as well. I think he's a good clinical finisher. He can nick a goal if we need a goal in the last 10 minutes. He's one of them players you can kind of count on for a last minute goal. And I think Callum Wilson probably would be the best shout out of the bunch. And I wouldn't mind seeing him in a United shirt.
There you go. Sorry, I think I said Dominic Calvert-Lewin there. I got mixed up.
I got a bit confused then.
It's all the same to me.
It's not all the same. They're very different.
Very different.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin's very different.
Okay, well done.
Now tell us why.
Chelsea, you did well there to fill a minute of why we should get Callum Wilson.
It's quite hard,
I'm impressed with both of you, to be fair.
Honestly.
I'm looking here worried, thinking this is going to be a bit of a struggle. I don't usually... it's not usually a drama to speak for a minute, but this might be a stretch. You're going to talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, not Callum Wilson.
No.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
We should sign him. Of these.
Right, you've got a minute to tell us why he is the answer to Manchester United's problems. Off you go.
He's the only one on this list that's not old enough to be my dad, for starters, which is saying something, because I'm basically the same age as all of them. But he is literally 10 years younger than Jamie Vardy. And obviously his knees and ankles and hamstrings probably are in a similar ballpark, but there's actually a potential with this signing that is different to all the others, that if he plays well, he could actually be here for 2 or 3 years. I don't really see that with any of the others. I think that Calvert-Lewin has shown flashes, and not just flashes, he's had good seasons in the past. He's someone that's got over 20 goals for Everton in a season before. And it took him being confident and staying injury-free, but it did happen. And I think that with his style of play, he holds the ball up well. He can allow and bring others into the game. If we do get Mbeumo and Cunha, a striker that can actually hold the ball up and bring those players in, they can get most of the goals. He can kind of teach Højlund to do a bit of that hold-up stuff rather than just, flapping his hands at centre-backs like he does at the minute. And like I said, if it works out, it could work out for, more than just 18 months. How long's Vardy got before he gets his free bus pass?
There you go. That's your time.
You're not supposed to be making jabs in these 1 minutes, and I've had 2 already.
Desperate times call for desperate tactics.
I can't wait for this, by the way, Jay.
Yeah, can't wait. Go on.
Wayne Davis in the Super Chat says Vardy's movement in the box and positional play is actually elite.
Yeah.
Just hasn't got any legs anymore. Wilson would be my choice. Dominic Calvert-Lewin a close second. Right, so I suppose it's my turn to talk about Pierre-Emerick
Little old
Aubameyang. Right, start the clock. Right. Now, you might scoff at this and go, why would we get Aubameyang? He's well past it. But he's just scored 17 goals, albeit in the Saudi League, but you can only beat what's in front of you. The season before that, he got 17 goals. So he's got 34 goals in 2 seasons, which isn't too shabby, especially considering some of the other names on this list and the fact they've scored either no goals last season or 1 goal last season or whatever. So it's not too bad. Also, he's one of the few players on this list, if not the only one, who's been at a club the size of Manchester United at Barcelona. He's been there at a big club. Other players on this haven't. He's done it, and he's actually got consistently over the years. He's had seasons where he scored 30, I think, league goals at Dortmund, over 20 Premier League goals at Arsenal a couple of times. Other players on this list, again, they might have scored over 20 goals in all competitions, but they haven't got 20 Premier League goals. He's been at Chelsea, he's been at Arsenal, so obviously he knows the Premier League. At 36, he's obviously past his best. I'm not pretending he isn't, but he's still got a little bit left in the tank. And I think if you're getting him in for a year, or maybe even 6 months, it might just give us enough time for Obi to come up and be ready.
6 months?
Yeah.
Look, that's.
What do you think you're getting out of the others?
With Calvert-Lewin, you could get 2 or 3 years. I do think that for me, that does make a difference.
With his injury record, good luck with that. But we'll get into that, right?
Cool.
Because we're going to open it up to the debate. Let us know what you think. Get involved in the chat. So you think Dominic Calvert-Lewin there is your argument you could get a couple of years out of him because he's the youngest on this list. You mentioned earlier he's 10 years younger than Jamie Vardy, which, that is factual. But to counter that, Jamie Vardy played, I think, 36 games last season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, again, missed a big chunk of the season with injury. That is not, regardless of his age, someone that's going to get better as he gets to 29.
No, well, we can't say that for certain 100%. I do appreciate that he's probably not going to stop being injury prone.
Yeah.
But he's also massively out of favour. So it's not like he's got up to speed with like proper Premier League football in a long time. He's not been a first choice player for Everton in ages.
I think the worry though is that we have had problems with injuries before.
Yeah.
So how well can we rehabilitate him when he does have injuries if we can't do it with our other players?
No, I do get that, and obviously that is a huge weakness with Calvert-Lewin. One of many. These are all imperfect players, but I just think you could easily stick a Aubameyang or Vardy in for United and just go, what are we even seeing here? Like,
does it not concern you with Dominic Calvert-Lewin? The fact that it's not like Everton are flying.
No.
And they seem pretty okay with letting him go. Doesn't seem like there's been any ag
There's no big
there.
fight about
Like, and
that.
you've got a striker who's 28 years old, who's been at your club for 5 years, whatever it is, and has scored, like you pointed out, 20 goals in a season in the past. You'd think they'd want to keep hold of him.
That is the problem with all these players. Like Arsenal, what was it, 3-4 years ago, made an example of Aubameyang and got rid of him as part of this rebuild. So we would be, he's been in Saudi for a few years, but you'd kind of be going, Arsenal, I know you did that and you thought it was a good idea. We think it's a bad idea. Jamie Vardy literally is about to get relegated with Leicester and has signed off by leaving them for free. Like, the same with Callum Wilson, don't get a game for Newcastle anymore, he's leaving them for free. I think that we could make that argument for all these players. That's why they're free. That's why we can afford them, because they're all not wanted by their own clubs, which is just a bit of a disaster, really.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's unique to him. I think they've all got them big issues. That's
I think
why they're
the
all
difference
for
for me, the big thing with Dominic Calvert-Lewin and with Callum Wilson is the injuries.
Yeah.
That, like the other, Jamie Vardy and Aubameyang don't have bad injury records. Both of those players do. They've missed big chunks of the season. And whilst I'm not pretending that Vardy and Aubameyang are great, amazing options, they do play a lot of football, and they have in the past played a lot of football. And if you bring them in, you want them to play, you want them to be available. If we bring them in and they're injured for a big chunk of the season, then you're going, right, we haven't got him, he's injured, and then we're back to...
It's a waste of time.
Are we
and a
throwing in
waste of
17-year-old
wages again.
Cheeto? Are we relying on Joshua Zirkzee to be the striker that he doesn't even know if he wants to be? I think he doesn't even... I don't know if he's certain to be a 9. And Rasmus Højlund, I can't be bothered talking about Rasmus Højlund anymore. We just debate all the time, and it just gets everyone aggy. People know the flaws with Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah.
You can make your own mind up. You don't need me to tell you. So that's the only concern.
Yeah.
I think both of those players on the day are good players. I do.
Yeah.
I do like Callum Wilson. Out of all the list of the other ones, other than Aubameyang, who's obviously amazing and the best option,
Obviously.
the other one I like is Callum Wilson, because out of those that when we play against, there's something about him that winds me up. That he's got that edge to him.
Yeah.
He does. He's got the
He gives it his
physicality.
all.
He can sort
goes in for it.
of. I know you say this when someone's crap or he's an handful, but I think with Callum Wilson, he does use his experience quite well, and I think he could bring in the players around him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think if he got a lot of service, potentially could. My only worry again with him though is not just injuries. He's won in his last 24, which you can't just ignore that.
No.
That is a bit of a concern.
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy, still scored recently, I think, in the Premier League. He's got 2 in his last 3. He's 38 though.
I know, but I think with Jamie
How much
Vardy,
Red Bull can he drink?
I think
sooner or
with
later it's going
Jamie
to catch
Vardy,
up with him.
Do you remember when we used to be a team that other teams feared?
Yeah.
I think with our forward line at the minute, we've not been feared. Like, they've kind of laughed at us. Like, we can knock them over. Like, we can breathe on them and they go down. If you've got Jamie Vardy up front, I think every defender does actually still fear him, because the man doesn't care. And I think that's kind of what we need. We need a bit of rashness. We need a bit of like muscle. He's not muscle, but
Aggression.
Shithousery.
Yeah.
Which is basically, if you look that word up in the dictionary, Jamie Vardy's name comes up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need at the minute, because we're kind of seen as this banter club at the minute. We need someone there that's going to actually genuinely worry people.
With Vardy, I can't get past that Batman thing. It was so cringe. He jumps out dressed as Batman, and his teammates just sort of went and didn't even laugh.
It's horrible.
Honestly,
It's
it
painful,
ruined his
actually.
career.
Yeah.
That's ruined his legacy. He's one of the Premier League great strikers. He really is. He's 15th in the list, but that wrecked it.
Wasn't quite only fools and horses, was it?
No, not really.
I do like Jamie Vardy though, because when United fans were singing "Your wife is a grass," he laughed.
Yeah, unreal.
True.
Yeah.
Which I think he deserves credit.
True. I just think with me, for Jamie Vardy and Aubameyang especially, I think it's hard because you've got the older strikers who you think, yeah, okay, they can come in and they've got this experience, etc., etc. But for me, the longevity, it concerns me. I feel like the younger ones, like Calvert-Lewin, like, why are you laughing?
They're really trying it.
These young whippersnappers.
28, that's
I
pretty
said
young.
before,
That's an actual, like, that's not even that old.
I feel like we're just looking in the sail rail
Well,
and we're
let's
doing
have
what
it
we
right,
can,
yeah.
right? But the younger ones, so Calvert-Lewin and Callum Wilson, bear in mind he's 33, but they're the more injury-prone ones. But then I worry about the longevity of Jamie Vardy and Aubameyang because they're 36 and 38.
Are we looking at longevity though when we're looking at a free transfer?
I do. I think we need a couple of seasons out of
we're
them.
using it as a quick fix
It's
for
a
this
sticking
season.
plaster, innit? Which is the best sticking plaster. That's how I
and
feel
then what
this is.
if we can then gain a bit, get a bit better next season? We've got better options then
But
in the
then
transfer
surely you
window
want
in the
more than a
summer.
season or two out of them. I think maybe
Yeah, it's
get
free,
3 or 4
so why
seasons
not?
out of Calvert-Lewin or Callum Wilson.
If
3 or
they
4
stay
seasons out of
fit.
Callum Wilson.
Maybe.
That's the most insane thing I've heard at this desk,
you never
and I have heard some insanity. 4 seasons out of Callum Wilson. Tell you what, right? We'll revisit this in 4 years.
Yeah. We'll click that.
Click on, and you can make me eat my words.
If
When he's on
Aubameyang's
top tour
anything
in
to
3
go
years'
by,
time.
Well,
he'll probably be in Saudi, Jay, and you'll be asking him to come to United.
this is it. I will.
Because remember when I know we're finished, but remember when Aubameyang played for Chelsea? I'd literally forgotten about that.
He
Yeah,
scored-
I forgot about that. until you
Listen,
said it.
he did really well. He got a decent Premier League goal.
He got 1 goal in 15 games
Yeah,
from him,
and it was
absolutely abysmal.
Unreal.
It was a difficult time at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is much better.
No one- no
We're
one-
United
no one-
right now.
No one did well then.
It's desperate. It's just
You know what I
desperate.
mean? The fact is he turned up.
Good point.
I'm going to get into some of the
Take it out.
comments. There's a vote as well. Vote for the absolute delightful selection we've got on offer here.
We're trying,
Can't
guys.
cope.
David Reed says a thing I could never agree more with. We should never have sold Danny Welbeck. Completely agree.
Yeah, of course you do.
Someone says you can't class yourself as serious on this channel if you're discussing this. We are discussing
True.
it, but we're not the only ones. It's in the press, it's in the
Yeah.
media. Google it if you don't believe me, that this is being spoken about.
This is our level.
And it's not just like,
our level.
oh, it's Fihaji's or someone.
The Athletic.
The Athletic was
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
you're in for some of these players. So
Yeah.
if you don't think this is a potential, transfer or signing, then have a
We
look.
can't just
Watch this
discuss
space.
the exciting things and forget about these
Like
that
Ollie
have been
Watkins.
linked.
When we've
Yeah,
got-
obviously.
when we've got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang starting up front for us next season,
Can't wait.
can't just look the other way.
I can't
We
wait.
have to sit there and watch that.
It's about
Watch
time
it-
we had
Or
someone
watching
from.
Jamie Vardy
where's he
drag
from?
his 38-year-old arse around Old
Yeah.
Trafford. Fucking hell.
Can't wait.
Life.
Rich Gang Wally says, get Moise Keane to strike and just end the talk.
Well,
One of my favourite.
But he's crap, and you'd have to spend 45 million on it.
Yeah.
yeah, so
One of my favourite names for someone on here is Ty Chokes on DT. Says, may as well keep Rashford if this is the best we can do.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean,
You made that
Rashford is
argument, didn't
Which
you?
is
on
true.
Bar?
It's true.
absolutely miles
So
better than
true.
all of these players, but we can't politically have him back now, can we? Because it would
Yeah.
well, it completely undermine the manager.
yeah,
Right.
100%.
You can't do it, unfortunately.
Right, should we get... Oh, no, we've got... Before we get into the vote,
Come on.
because there's still a little bit more line, we're going to have the closing statements. So, Joe, I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
Yes.
You give us your closing statement on why Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the youngster of this group, is the answer to our problems.
Yeah, he's still 10 years younger than Jamie Vardy, 8 years younger than Aubameyang, 6 years younger than Callum Wilson. I know he had a bad injury record, but he's someone that knows the Premier League. He has got experience of scoring goals in the Premier League. When he's confident, when he's on form, playing in a decent team or a team that suits him, he can get goals. And potentially, he could get goals for more than 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. He could be here for 2 or 3 years if he's good enough. If he's not, we can get rid of him and replace him with a better striker. For me, he's the only one that ticks all those boxes.
Thank you, Joe. That was your 30 seconds. Lauren, you've got 30 seconds to tell us why Jamie Vardy, your wife is a grass, is the answer to our problems.
I think Jamie Vardy is a stopgap for us whilst we're kind of in turmoil at the minute. It's going to be helping the kids coming through. They can learn a lot from him. He's still able to score goals. He's still got goal involvements. He's that strong player up front that we've needed for a long time. And I think that, he'll be a good influence on the dressing room. He'll be a good influence on pretty much all the team, and he's got that Premier League experience, and he will get us goals when we need it.
Fair enough. Thank you, Lauren. Chelsea, do you want to give us the skinny on why Callum Wilson is the one?
Yes. So I think we should go for Callum Wilson out of the 4 that we've discussed. Again, he's got the Premier League experience. He's played for Newcastle for 5 years. He's played in finals. He's played in, he's played in Europe. He has that experience that can kind of be passed down to a younger player like Højlund. It's low financial risk. He's on a free. I don't think his wage demands will be that bad. And I think, he is a striker who can score a goal. When you get the ball to him with players like hopefully Mbeumo and Cunha, you can get the ball to him. He can score some important goals for us. And I just think at 33, I think he's got a couple of years left in him, and that's why I think he's the best option. Not 4 years.
Okay. No, that seems pretty reasonable. Right, 30 seconds on why Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is the answer to our problems. I think this signing needs to be a stopgap. I do, out of any of these 4. And I worry that maybe Dominic Calvert-Lewin would want a bigger contract than a 1-year contract at 28 years old. Maybe even Callum Wilson might, like you just said there. I think we need someone who can just come in just for a year, if that, and just do a job for us and give us another option. Aubameyang's been at a big club. He's been at Barcelona. I think he's the only one on this list who's been at a club the size similar to Manchester United. Obviously got Premier League experience, and he's been scoring regularly, albeit at a low level the last year or so. He's still been scoring loads of goals.
You say Northampton, where Dominic Calvert-Lewin won League Two, isn't as big as Manchester United.
Listen, you know me, Joe. I will stand corrected. And I think
Thank you.
If you're looking at form, then I'm guessing Northampton have probably had a better season than we have.
Probably.
Jamie Vardy is non-league. He can tear it up.
That's true.
So.
Right, okay. Thanks. Yeah. Again,
if there is a man that'll be able to dominate
Jamie
anyone,
Vardy
he's non-league.
Absolutely tear it up, non-league. Could you have him though in the group chat?
Oh God. Yeah.
Could you?
Yeah.
Could you have him in that dressing room?
Yeah.
Terrorise everyone.
Knowing what his missus is like.
Yeah.
Knowing, like, if you told him something,
the wives and the
he's going to
girlfriends
tell
just
her.
can't know her.
She's
And
going
they
to tell
can't
her.
be friends with her.
Come on, man. I don't.
And surely everyone's Team Rooney as well in the dressing room.
Yeah.
So,
Wayne Rooney.
Exactly, you can't have
You're
that.
turning your back on
Rooney.
United's top goal
Bloody
scorer
Rebecca
of all
Vardy.
time. Honestly.
Yeah, for the 15 Premier League goals scorer.
No loyalty. Honestly, I'm ashamed to
God.
what I've just heard. I
Fuckily,
expected better from you. The votes should be in somewhere. Have we got them?
They're in the chat.
They're in the what, sorry?
They're in the chat.
Are they?
They're on screen in a minute.
Oh, right, I can't see them. They've disappeared. Have
is
you
it?
just deleted them?
No, they're
Right, right, okay. I was going to do a bit of a intro, but I think we can see it. We can just raise that a little bit. So we'll go through the votes.
can see yours.
So in 4th place, it's absolute travesty this,
Is it?
by the way. Do you not want players that have been at
Do
Barcelona?
you know what players they got kicked out of Arsenal 5 years ago for not being the
Would
right
you
kind
want
of
to play
player
for
a rebuild?
Mikel Arteta? Aubameyang with 11%. I'm amazed at 11% of the vote, actually.
I'm just glad I've not gone
People
last
just
today.
like you, I think, Jay.
Thank you.
that much, though.
In 3rd place, well, hang on a minute. Who's won here?
Oh, yeah.
Right, hang on.
So technically
Right.
third.
Jesus wept. Right, in 2nd place is Chelsea with Callum Wilson, 26%.
I'll take it.
Right, now we've got a tie, but we're not having that. Let's do another poll with just the top 2. Which is Lauren and Joe,
like it.
with Calvert-Lewin.
Sorry, I've
and
been last
Vardy.
every single time.
Right, so let's do another poll now.
Get the trophy.
Between Vardy and Calvert-Lewin.
Come on.
Let's do a quick poll in the chat and vote whether it's Vardy or
Who is
Calvert-Lewin
gonna win?
who is the answer to Manchester United's problems for this season. Yeah.
Where is the trophy, by the way? We need to hand that out.
What a wild statement.
So decide. 50-50. Don't look.
Right, okay, well, look.
It's going to be tight as you like.
This
isn't it?
is tense. We've never had this before. We've never had a playoff.
This is
No, no.
unprecedented
This
circumstances.
is unreal. I can't believe you are witnessing Stretford Paddock history right now.
Literally.
As we have a playoff to decide whether Jamie Vardy or Dominic Calvert-Lewin should be United's number 9 next season.
God, who'd have thought it?
Wow.
Should we do another 30 seconds each?
Do you want
No,
to?
should we do 15 seconds each?
Oh, okay.
Do it.
Can we do it right? Can we keep the poll going?
Yeah.
And let's give these guys 15 seconds.
'Cause
Right.
It's just head to head now.
I'm ready.
Right. Lauren, you can go first. You got 15 seconds. Go.
So we need a stopgap. We don't need someone that wants 3 seasons out of us. We need someone that can teach the kids, and then we can bring them up for a lot cheaper than paying his wages for maybe 3 years, which is what he will want. And Jamie Vardy knows exactly how to score a goal in the Premier League.
Right, okay. You've got 15 seconds, Joseph, to tell us why DCL is the man.
I don't even need to talk about Calvert-Lewin. I'm just talking about Vardy. He is so old that he is. I'm not going to do like some sort of slam poetry. Literally, he is a legend for Leicester, and they went, enough is enough, and they got relegated. They don't even want him in the Championship next season. It's gone too far. He's done.
It's just because they can't afford his wages.
Right. I think we've had the votes have come in. Are we finished now? Has the poll ended?
Yeah, put the end now.
And the
Right,
ball,
so we end the poll.
It'll pop up in the chat.
Oh, there it is. Right, okay.
don't cheat.
I'm not cheating. I didn't see it. I've got glasses, but I still can't see.
We're both
I
going to
know.
find out in a second anyway. don't
Just
we?
remember, there's no winners or losers in this poll.
Well, there is. There's literally a trophy there.
There absolutely is.
Other than
Yeah.
the loser being Lauren, because you came second.
Get it!
Are you joking? This is my one chance.
37% went with Vardy. 62%. I don't know how that works.
Are you joking?
A full 99% of votes.
You guys are
went for one of the
crazy.
two.
Back.
Guys are crazy.
Look at it. It looks like Dominic.
No, it doesn't.
Hey.
Crazy.
Oh, and do you know what the prize is? We've got an Everton reject playing.
Yeah.
And he gets a 4-year deal.
He gets a 4-year deal.
That's going to be the best thing when we sign him and he gets a long-term deal.
Can't wait.
No, well done, Joe. You won with a 28-year-old. Massive achievement there when you're up against a load of.
I'm going to say.
Do you know what I mean?
Year-old.
Bloody hell. But to be fair though, none of you two can moan because you had first dibs again.
We did, to be fair, we
And
did.
did you choose first?
I choose
She chose first.
Right, I don't mind that.
Again.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I
I
don't
did give
mind
you the chance,
that.
though, to be fair.
Yeah.
I did give you the
Nah,
chance.
if it was up to me,
I was
I would have chosen
asleep, leave me
Calvert-Lewin. But
alone.
well done, Joe.
Well done.
Superb effort there. You've convinced us all.
DCL is the answer.
He might wear knickers and bras, but he's the answer to that problem.
Skirts, yeah.
I like his
I only
fashion.
consider
Oh,
that to be a
no.
positive.
I
don't
agree.
hate it.
I think
Yeah.
that we need a bit more of that.
Yeah.
Old Trafford. Make sure, if you're not doing so already, you are subscribing to the channel. We're going to be back later on as well. Don't forget, with Transfers Live. Go and check Joe Smith out on the Sloppy Joe's podcast. You know where to find him. Lauren, thank you. Big thank you. So you're going to be back next week?
No, I'm at Oasis.
Bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm on holiday,
Pathetic.
so.
Oh, yeah, well, okay
So, you
then.
know
In that
what?
case, we were going to do it,
Yeah,
but, you know,
maybe
you're
a couple
not
weeks.
as well then. Right, okay,
Oasis.
then. So we're back in 2 weeks, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's been Lauren. Chelsea, thanks as well.
Thank you.
It's been Chelsea. That's been Joe Smith. I'm Jay Moy. This has been Agree or Disagree. Thank you to everyone who got involved in the chat. Thanks for watching.